Welcome to a look into the unknown. Today we're diving deep into, a mystery that people are still talking about. The Voronezh UFO incident. It's 1989. The Soviet Union is still a thing. And something extraordinary is about to happen in a quiet city park.
Yeah, Voronezh, it's a city that was known for being peaceful. Then suddenly it's the center of attention for the whole world.
So picture this. A bunch of kids are playing football in a park. And all of a sudden they see a glowing red ball coming down from the sky. That's just the start of it. They say they saw a three-eyed alien come out wearing bronze boots and a disc on its chest. And get this, there was a robot with him.
It's wild. The kids even said the alien used some kind of ray gun and made a teenager disappear for a little while. I mean, it's like something straight out of science fiction. No wonder it turned into this huge international story.
And it wasn't just kids talking. Even TASS, the official Soviet news agency, reported on it. It almost seems like the Soviet government was taking it seriously.
It makes you wonder, especially with the timing. This was during Glasnost and Perestroika, when the Soviet Union was trying to be more open and transparent. Maybe reporting on a UFO, even a really strange one, was their way of showing they were modern and open.
So maybe they saw a chance to look more transparent than the West, even when it came to UFOs. But then it gets even weirder. A police lieutenant says he saw something strange in the sky too. And the Interior Ministry thought about sending troops if the object came back.
Wow, that definitely adds another twist. And then you've got this TASS report quoting a scientist. He supposedly confirmed a landing site using biolocation. But that technique, using a pendulum or rods to find things, it's not exactly considered reliable scientifically. It's more like dowsing, which relies on, supposed extrasensory perception, not really on actual evidence.
So not exactly the most scientific approach.
It does make you wonder about how they investigated it at first. And then it gets even more interesting when we look at this extraterrestrial rock they say they found at the landing site.
It's like straight out of the movies. So what was this rock? Was it really from outer space?
Well, when they analyzed it, they found out it was just plain old hematite, a type of iron oxide that's found everywhere on Earth. Not exactly a souvenir from another planet.
So another piece of the story bites the dust. But what about those slightly higher cesium levels they found at the site? Could that be the proof of something extraterrestrial?
That's where it gets really interesting. See, those higher cesium levels, they can actually be linked back to the Chernobyl disaster, which happened just a few years before the Voronezh incident. That fallout from Chernobyl, it spread far and wide. It affected areas way beyond the power plant itself.
So instead of alien radiation, we've got the after effects of a real-life tragedy.
Exactly. It's important to remember the context here. The Chernobyl disaster was a huge deal for the Soviet Union, both physically and psychologically. It created this feeling of anxiety and uncertainty, which might have made people more open to strange explanations, like the idea of aliens visiting.
So it seems like this incident wasn't just about a possible UFO. It was tied up with all the anxieties and changes happening in society.
Exactly, and that's even clearer when you consider that different investigations, after all the media hype died down, they couldn't find any real proof to support the claims of an alien visit.
What about that Voronezh amateur section for the study of abnormal phenomena? I mean, the name itself makes it sound like they were really hoping to find something extraordinary.
They were definitely enthusiastic, but their methods, especially their reliance on biolocation, just wasn't very scientific. And remember Genrikh Selenov, the scientist TASS quoted at first, as saying he confirmed the landing site.
Yeah, the one who supposedly used biolocation to find the spot.
Right. Well, he later said that he never actually confirmed an alien landing. He even criticized TASS for twisting his words. It seems like even some Soviet scientists were skeptical.
And adding to that skepticism, the French press agency reported on a whole bunch of tests, things like radiometric analysis and microorganism checks, and they didn't find anything unusual at the site. Doesn't look like there was much evidence for an alien visit.
That's right. Even Vladimir Pulsner, a famous Soviet news correspondent, sent a film crew to investigate. They couldn't find any more witnesses, which led Pulsner to suggest that maybe the kids had just let their imaginations run wild.
Kids being kids, as they say. But the fact that the official Soviet news agency, TASS, reported on this incident, it does make you wonder if there was some political reason for them to promote this story.
That's a great question. In a time when they were supposedly being open, reporting on a UFO incident, even a weird one like this, might have been a good way to spread propaganda.
It's almost as if they used it to make the Soviet Union seem like they were less secretive and more in touch with the unknown than the West.
That's definitely a possibility. Time magazine back in 1989 quoted a disillusioned Soviet Party member who said that all these UFO and paranormal stories were like a new opiate for the masses, a way to distract people from the tough realities of their lives.
So in a way, this UFO sighting could be seen as a reflection of the hopes, fears, and uncertainties of a society that was on the verge of huge change.
Exactly. It was a time when people were questioning the old ways and looking for new ways to understand the world.
Which brings us to the question of other explanations. If we move away from the aliens did it story, what's left? What else could explain this strange event? Yeah, it does feel like we've ended up with more questions than answers. So let's look at some of the other theories that people have come up with over the years. Some people think that maybe it wasn't an alien spacecraft at all, but a top-secret Soviet military aircraft.
Well, the Soviet Union was definitely known for its advanced technology, aerospace stuff. It's possible they were testing out some experimental aircraft designs that people might have mistaken for a UFO.
So the glowing lights, the unusual shapes the witnesses described, could those have been part of some secret military project? What do you think?
It's a pretty believable theory. I mean, even the description of the alien with those bronze boots could have been a test pilot in some futuristic suit, and maybe that ray gun was really some experimental weapon.
That's an interesting idea. It definitely adds a whole other level of mystery to the story. Of course, there's no hard evidence for this theory, but it's something to think about. Another explanation that's been suggested is mass hysteria.
Ah, yes. That theory says that the kid's story, maybe they made it up or they saw something and misunderstood it, but then their story spread quickly and it made other people think they had seen something extraordinary too.
So it's like this chain reaction where the power of suggestion kicks in, and it changes how people see things. Could that be why so many people claim to see the UFO, even though there wasn't much real proof?
It could be. In a society where people were already dealing with so much uncertainty and change, a story as sensational as this, it could easily capture everyone's imagination, and then it just takes on a life of its own.
It's amazing how this incident seems to reflect the fears and hopes, and even the anxieties of that time and place.
Absolutely. The Voronezh UFO incident is still a puzzle. It's a story that mixes Cold War secrets with the fascination with the unknown, and the way human perception and societal anxiety all play off each other.
We might never know for sure what really happened that day in the park, but that's part of what makes these deep dives so interesting. They make us think, critically consider different perspectives, and accept that some mysteries might never be completely solved.
That's true. The Voronezh UFO incident reminds us that even in a time of scientific progress, there's still room for wonder and speculation, and the chance that some events will always remain a mystery.
So there you have it, our deep dive into the Voronezh UFO incident. It's a story that still gets people talking and debating even today. If you liked the video, share it, leave us a like, and subscribe to our channel, A Look into the Unknown. Until next time, keep exploring the mysteries of the universe.